Optimus Prime. Need a ride, I can range you up. Money, I can change you up. You can have your own, no longer
I'm gonna get going here in a second. Okay, so welcome to Soc Talks. I am Socrates. I am the host of Soc Talks, and I decided to put this webinar together for you guys today so that we can discuss a couple of things. The main and most important thing that I want to share with you guys moving forward is that words do matter. Okay, you can say the wrong thing to the right person. You know, I know that a lot of times we're told that that's not a possibility, but it really is. So having said that, let me go ahead and share with you guys this presentation. Okay, so again, as I was saying, I am Socrates Ace. I'm the author, podcast personality, and professional network marketing strategist of Soc Talks. For the next few minutes here, maybe half an hour or so, I'm going to be going through a couple of different points that I wanted to share with my team and with you guys. So who is Doc Soc, right? Who's Socrates? Well, I'm Cuban born, all right? That's me right there at the age of about 2.5, 3 years old in Cuba. And then here in New Jersey. And then my next step up was as a Marine in the Marine Corps. That's the skinniest I've ever been right there, guys. Look at that. Looks like a little stick. This is my next life as a software architect, where I got, I gained about 10 pounds a year for about 10 years until I hit about 280 pounds at some point. This is the team that I used to travel with. This is actually a picture of Singapore. I did a lot of traveling globally. Very, 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 very fun and lucrative. But then, in 2009, they cut my head off and basically just sent me on my way. Nothing. This is the love of my life right there. That's my little Zoe. This is, I think, a picture that we took in Vegas not so long ago, but I just want to show you this. I want you to, I appreciate my family. Those are my kids right there. A couple of years ago, but still, I wanted to show you the important things in my life right there. It's Tyler, Violet, and Zoe, and Uday. That's my Slovakian German Shepherd. This is a hobby of mine. I love to hang glide. Hang gliding is something that that really is liberating. It's shown me to be a person that when I commit, when I set my my mind on something, just do it. You can't kind of not run off a cliff. You either do it or you don't. And I was actually so good that Nestle hired me to be their Nestle bunny for a commercial spot. It was really funny because they told me that they've never had a rabbit that muscular. You can see by my legs and arms. It was actually pretty funny. This is the martial arts. I'm also a martial artist. Been doing martial arts for about 30 years. This is a black belt, seminar that we do once a year in Miami. And this is what I do now. I love sharing with people. This is a buddy of mine, Son Wolf, at our convention last year, not this year, last year. I love that guy. In fact, I love all you people. And that's why I'm in the industry that I am today, which is network marketing. So why are you on the seminar? Okay, it's pretty simple. You're on the seminar because, well, I'm a charismatic guy. No, that's not really the reason. Well, because we're friends and you trust me. Well, even though that's true for some of you, it's not really the reason why you're on here, because you have a hidden bromance with me. Well, that's a possibility as well. A lot of you guys I really hold dearly in my heart. But the real reason is because I said something, I spoke something, or I wrote something that resonated with you. Okay, it was how I said it. It was in the way that I copied it, that I wrote it, that I shared it with you, that actually made your ears perk. And that's the point of this particular webinar. The point here is that if you say the right things to the right person, or actually if you say the right things to who you think is the wrong person, it can actually be a positive thing for your business and your industry. So what are you going to get from this webinar? All right. At least one actionable item today, okay, that you can put to use right now. If you take that one thing today and actually use it, and it can make you move forward, get you out of the stump that you're in, get you out of the plateau that you're at, then it's well worth the time that you spent on this thing. Okay, I say one thing because statistically they only say you retain about 10% of what you hear. Now, this is a webinar, so it's exactly you're hearing, you're watching, so potentially you can have up to a 30% retention, but we'll see. The confidence that, you don't lack the tools that it takes to actually succeed in your business today. Okay. Let's face it, guys, we have great tools. Okay. We've got, the company's put a lot of money into the assets of producing DVDs and videos and calls. In fact, today we've got a great call about 9 o'clock with Meet the Owners, right? It's gonna, you don't want to miss that. So, I mean, the tools are all there. All we have to do is figure out how to get people to actually participate in those particular tools, like the healthy happy hours and stuff like that. Okay. You'll get a part of a blueprint. Okay. That when you apply it, even, you'll have success even accidentally. All right. Now, how many of you would like to have accidental ascension in your accomplishment today? Accidentally, All right. And you'll have a warm and fuzzy feeling that you became better friends with me, right? Thank you so much for doing that. It makes me feel better. All right. So let's discuss something real quick. What's the real difference between our top earners and Mr. and Mrs. I'm so passionate. Okay. Well, there's really, the passionate person, when I started with the company, I was really passionate about my transformation with this particular company. I went out, man, I shared a lot of information with a lot of people, and it showed, right? My paycheck went up, my status with the organization went up, but then I got to a certain point and there was something missing, right? There was something missing. I wasn't saying the right things. And then, I kept losing people in my organization. Now, the real difference, what I've noticed from speaking with a lot of these successful people over the last few months is that they all have the ability to make a decision, right? The Mr. Passionate and the top earner, but the decisions that the passionate person makes, they don't really understand, right? You don't really know how to make a decision. I mean, think about it for a second. All your life, right? You spent, people telling you, where to stop, where to sit, when to, go to work, when to have lunch, when to have your cigarette break, if you smoke, those type of things. You're told all the time, what to do. Right. At least you did one good thing, right? That you made a decision to get into multi-level marketing and network marketing. And it's probably one of the best ones that you did. But the problem is that you probably made that decision by saying that you'll try it. Okay. And why try it? Right. Because in the back of your mind, you have something that says, well, I'll try it until what? It doesn't work. Right. Or, I'll do my best until it's just not enough. Right. Or I'll set a goal until I just can't reach it. The difference with the top earners is that they also do make decisions, but when they make a decision, they commit to it to a point of fault. They make the decision, period. They make the decision just like, coming to a different country. You get there, you burn the ship, there's no way of going back. You cut the rope, you can't go back up the hill. You destroy the bridge that's behind you. You have to go forward. I mean, think about it, so many of our success stories in our organization started with people that got down to the last $5, got down to the last $300. They had their cars being repoed, their houses being in personal foreclosure. It's a recurring story. They only had one way to go, and that was to make a commitment and to decide to do what they wanted to do. What does this have to do with words? I'll get to in a second. Okay. The other thing that they have in common is the fact that they love to collect information. All right. The only problem is that collecting information is the least important thing that we can do. All right. Now, it's still important, right? Because you have to be able to say the word Purium, right? Because you don't want to walk up to somebody and say, "Oh, I mean, with this new company, Purum or Punium or whatever it is." I've heard it happen. People do that. You look pretty silly if you don't know how to say the organization's name. But having said that, you can all agree that the company has spent a lot of money, okay, doing a great job producing the information that you need, right? We've got brochures, right? We got DVDs, we've got Vimeo videos, we got YouTube videos, we've got Dave with his personal recipe videos. I mean, we've got calls that give information. We've got business calls, we've got opportunity calls, we got opportunity meetings, we've got events, we got diamond events, we've got crown events, we've got and ad nauseum we've got information, right? Events. Okay. The top earner, although he understands collecting information is important, they know how to move through people through the tools. okay, effectively. All right, they trust that the company has got it right, that they hired the right people, right, that they put the things right in a way that you can use them, and they don't spend cycles, right, trying to figure out why the master aminos take 23 minutes to be digested, why the apothecary has 7,000, 5,000, 7,000 on the ORAC, and what the heck is ORAC, and why is that important to me? The fact of the matter is that that's not important to the person that wants to have a transformation. That's not important to the person that wants a business opportunity. All they want to know is that, is the information there when I need it? Is there somebody going to help me with it? Is somebody going to take me through the steps to find the stuff when I need it? That's all that's important to them. And guess what? The top earners understand that. They don't get what? They don't get verbal diarrhea. Skills. Okay, this is the limiting factor, right? Everyone has a different cookbook in our organization. They just do. I mean, everybody has a different cookbook for what works. Everyone's cooking the same cake, it seems, but with different recipes, right? So, when you share this, which is, by the way, our job, right? It's our job to share with our team things that are duplicatable, right? It just doesn't seem to take. It's like getting shot, with rubber bullets. It just bounces off of you, it just doesn't take with the people that you're doing. Why? Okay, well, our top earners, right, they have a set of skills that's slightly a little different. They know how to navigate people through certain prejudices and stigmas about the organization, or even the salesman alarms, right, that they need to get the message through, right, to get somebody to try the product. Okay, they know exactly also how to share those particular things with their organizations, right? And that's why we're here today. We want to know exactly what do they say specifically, not theoretically. What are they saying specifically? All right. It's good to be able to say great things of our business. I mean, you can Google our company, right? And there's really nothing bad out there about our organization. I mean, in my particular organization, which has, currently in our transformation group has, as of Tuesday of last week, it was like, 10,000 or 11,200 people in that particular group. Nobody says anything bad. It's always positive. Over the few 100,000 people that are in the group, nobody says anything bad about the company itself. Why? Well, because it's just amazing stuff. You know what? People will Google you. People know the company is amazing. Okay, that's not the problem. Okay, we don't need to say any more good things about the company. What we need to do is figure out what we have to say to make people believe that all the good stuff is true, right? That's what's important here. Okay, hold on a second. I'm trying to get to questions and answers, if there's any questions there for a second. This is the first time using this tool set for me, guys, so be patient with me here as I go through this stuff. Okay, examples of why we fail. All right, we fail because we are told that, we do introductions to people, we whip out our, gift cards, right? One right here. Never leave home without one, right? Hey, check this out. I got this gift cards for you. It's $50, right? Do you want to die slowly or you want to live well? It's like a no-brainer, right? Everybody wants to live well. Nobody wants to die early. I want to feel like $1 million. I don't want to feel like 2 cents. Then you start talking to the person, and then you're like, hey, by the way, do you want to make more money, or do you want to have a life of less? People are like, oh, I want more. So here you are. You've walked them through the product, and it sounds like they're totally go for it, and you walk them through maybe possibly a business pitch, and then they're like, oh, it's amazing. Yeah, I definitely want to do this. And then, in your mind, you got it. You whip out the tear sheet. You're like, boom, launch pack, right? Sold, right? And the fact of the matter is, it doesn't happen. What just happened? You got the person to say yes, they were smiling. You got the person to say, oh, definitely, I want to make more money, and then it comes to the end, and they're like, no, I don't want the product. This sounds like a pyramid scheme. I'm not ready right now. I've got to talk to my husband. I've talked to my wife about it. I just don't have the time right now. I can't do this. I mean, and it just goes on and on and on, right? How do you deal with that? What just happened, right? What just happened right there? Okay. Hold on. Nobody knows what happened. I mean, you spent this time, with this individual, you got into the healthy, you did everything right that you were told to do, right? You said, you met the person, you said, hey, look, listen, I'm interested in sharing this with you. I just got involved with, and they're like, oh yeah, what you got involved with? I got involved with this company. It's an amazing company. It's all green. It's organic. It's non-GMO. Use all the words that are really, potential and everything, and everybody gets, oh yeah, it's really great stuff. Yeah, I've heard about it. Yeah, I saw it. Oh, did you see the TV? Yeah, I saw the TV. He's like, oh, we're having a healthy happy hour. Oh yeah, we're gonna go to the healthy happy hour. So you get the person to possibly show up to the healthy happy hour, right? They get there, they're excited. You get them in the healthy happy hour. You listen to a couple of different stories. Everybody's got this great testimonials. They're looking at the person up there. A guy like me, right? Gets up there. He's charismatic. He's lost a lot of weight. He's all this other stuff, and then they try the stuff. It's not bad. It's pretty good. I enjoy it, and then afterwards you're like, well, what do I want to do? Well, let me go think about it. Okay. How do you change that? Right. Well, you got to do it right. Example, one of my mentors said a story that, about 30 years ago, he was, when he got involved in network marketing, he had gone to something very similar to our healthy happy hours. Right. And in that healthy happy hour, he spent a full hour and a half to 2 hours listening to a pitch, right? Hours are an hour, but anyway, he spent 2 hours. So listen to this pitch, and at the end, in his mind, he knew absolutely there was no way at all that he was going to be involved with this organization. Period, hands down. He doesn't have the time. Right? He doesn't have the effort, doesn't want to know, doesn't want to educate himself about all the products. There's way too much talking going on. There's way too much spewing of knowledge, and he just wasn't for this. Okay, so he decided to go and, because he's polite, say farewell to the host of the party, and the guy says, oh, are you the guy who came to visit? And we invited. It was, yeah. He's like, he was really impressed because it was like, maybe 67 people in this event. And he was like, wow, he knew I was there. Later on, he realized that 59 out of the 60 were actually distributors as well, but he was the only guy there. So it was easy to pick him out. But anyway, so the guy approached him and said, so what do you think? He goes, well, I don't think it's really for me. And the guy says, well, you know what? I'll tell you what. He says this precisely. He says to the guy, he says, if you join today, okay, I'll tell you what's going to happen. 6 months from now, you're going to walk into your office, right? You're going to walk into your boss's corner room there, his office, and you're going to sit down in front of your boss. He's going to look at you. He's going to smile, and you're going to lean back in the chair and put your foot on top of his desk, and you're going to say, effective today, I resign. Right? And he's going to have this crazy look on his face. You're going to smile. You're going to get up. You're going to walk out. You're going to go past your cubicle. Maybe you're going to grab a couple of things. You're going to wave to everybody else that's in the office. You're going to get in the elevator. You're going to go down the elevator. You're going to get into the new car that's being paid for by your residual income. You're going to drive to the bank where you're going to deposit that check for that particular month, which you're getting every month now. And it's usually a 4-figure number, and or 5. And you're going to give it to the cashier there. She's going to ask you, what do you want to put it into, your savings or into your checkings? You're going to say, it doesn't matter because I'm going to get one just like this next month. I'll put it into the other one. So, and then you're going to leave. Okay. That's what's going to happen. And at that point in time, the guy turned to the other guy and said, sign me up. Okay. So the thought there is he went through 2 hours of a presentation, and at the end he absolutely without a doubt knew he didn't want anything to do with the organization. And then he went through 30 seconds of the guy doing some picture stories, and the guy was totally excited about what was going to go down. Okay, why? What's the value? What's the difference? The difference was that the picture story resonated with the guy, right? He knew who his avatar was, and he approached him. By the way, the word avatar means a target, right? Specific target that you painted. We're going to talk about that in a second. So if you know who your avatar is, then you can articulate exactly what's important to them so that it resonates with them. Okay, that's what you're trying to do. Hold on a second. So it's all really about the language, right? It's all about the language. Who is your avatar? Okay, who is that target that you're trying to approach? When I came into this company, you know what they told me? They said, it's anybody who eats. Your target is anybody who eats. Well, you know what? That's a pretty general statement to say. Okay, the fact of the matter is that it's not everybody who eats. It's yeah, everybody does eat. That's apparent. That's an obviousness. But it's a specific individual that you can address his needs to. Let me tell you another story. Okay, so you go on a trip. Like, remember I told you I used to travel all over the world for my last business. When I used to go to South American countries like Colombia, it was very easy for me to go somewhere and make friends immediately because we had something in common, right? We had Spanish, right? So the moment that I got there, I was able to resonate and start laughing and joking and hanging out with the locals much easier than my American counterparts. Okay. And they thought that I was special. No, there was nothing special about me. It's just that I was talking the same language. That's what I'm saying here. Okay. If you were to go to Russia, right, and you're from Great Britain, okay, and you find another guy there from Great Britain, all right, you guys immediately navigate to each other and you start you start bonding and creating a relationship. It's the same thing here as well. Who is your avatar? Create campaigns with your team, okay, where you are targeting a particular avatar. Let's say teachers, for instance, right? I was on a call just the other day with a young lady. Her name is Kim from Seattle, and she's a teacher, and she was very specific about her target. She knew that she wanted to address people that were just like her, teachers. They were frustrated, and you know what? I saluted her for that, because that is step one. Your step one is know who you are targeting, because if you become an expert at talking to teachers, every teacher that you speak to, and there's a lot of them, okay, are going to want to do what? They're going to want to be associated with you, okay? Align yourself with them, with those avatars. It's so important, it really is. It's so important that you becomes very specific. When I wanted to write my book, when I wanted to participate in podcasting, when I wanted to share information with my team and have my team actually move in the right direction, guess what I did? I sat down and I drew my avatar out. I said, my avatar is going to be a male between the ages of 35 and 55. They're going to be driving a late model XYZ. They're going to have 3.2 kids. They're going to be happily and unhappily married, which means that essentially they're happy that they're married, but they're unhappy they're married because she's got to work, he's got to work. They just, they're constantly bitching about everything that's going on, other than the fact that they want to just spend time together, and I got very crystal clear about who I wanted to talk to. And the moment that I did that, the moment that I got crystal clear about my story and who I wanted to talk to, I saw them everywhere, that I would see them at the grocery stores. I'd see them at the gas station. I'd see them at the, at the car wash. Everywhere that I went to, I would see my avatar. And it was so easy at that point in time to walk up to them and say, hey, how you doing? And then say something like, I'm just curious. And, I just drew a blank right now, but in my case, I'd say, I'm just curious. How long have you had that vehicle? Oh, I've had that vehicle. In case, because I go to the dealership all the time to wash my car and stuff like that. So I say, how long have you had that vehicle? Oh, I've had that vehicle a few years. How about yours? Oh, I've had mine for about 6 years. And it's like, hey, I'm just curious. Wouldn't it be great to get one of these new ones? Oh yeah, that would be really awesome. It's like, well, I just found out how I can get one of these in about 6 months. Really? How's that? It's like, well, I don't really have that much time right now because I got to get out of here. I got to go pick up my kids. But tell you what, let me give you one of my business cards. Do you have a business card? Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Is this number on the business card? Is this your office number? Do you have a cell number so I can call you directly? I love that color of your card, by the way. That's great. Yeah, mine is. It's just black is easy. So, okay, so I got you. So, you know what? I get a hold of you. We'll talk more about it. Okay. It's great. Okay. Take care. So what I did was that I used some small specific chats, words to get me in with this person, right? They're known as icebreakers, right? So I used some icebreakers to break the ice with this person. I got my information. The guy and I resonated because we had similar vehicles, right? I already knew who he was because he's very similar to me. So I just have to talk to him in the same language that resonates with me. And the same thing, I can go to the supermarket, right, uh, and see a mother with fighting with her kids, or something like that, and say, I'm just curious, how old is she? She said, oh, she's 4. I was like, oh my gosh, that's the best, that's the best age, she's like, oh, I know you don't think it is now, but it goes so fast. I know it goes so fast. It's great, hey, would it be okay if and then you have to ask something that would be okay, that has to do with the children. Would it be okay if I shared with you how I spend more time with my children now? It's like, oh, you know you spend a lot of time with the children too. Oh, you work from home, you're a single mom at home. Oh wow, wouldn't it be okay if you had an extra paycheck every month? you know yeah, everybody wants an extra paycheck every month, right? It's like, well, I just found out how you can get an extra paycheck every month. That's what I do. It's like, really? How do you do that? It's like, again, I got to get out of here. I don't have the time. Make yourself more important than it really is. Because it creates the necessity for you to actually get her information and share her information. It works, folks. It really does work. Does it work 100% of the time? No, but it works more than 30% of the time, which is what everything else that I had been doing to that point worked. Okay, so let's talk about some concepts, all right? Because I can tell you stories all day long, but if we don't talk about some concepts, then really we've done nothing. Okay, so concept number 1: feel, felt, found. Feel, felt, and found. You know, when you get to the point when you've gotten somebody to talk to you, and now you're pushing them through your tools, right? You've had them listen to your video. You got them to go to your healthy happy hour. They've talked on a 3-way with one of your upline. They're excited, to have done that. And then you call them back up and you ask them the magical questions. What is it you like best? What is it that you heard or saw or listened to or resonated with you, however you want to say it, but what is that thing best that you liked? And they're going to tell you, well, I liked the weight loss, or I liked the fact that it was organic, or I liked speaking just with your upline, or I like that you have a good team in place, or I like that that you're so warm and nice, whatever it is, right? But then usually or a lot of times, not usually, a lot of times they'll follow it up with, I'm not ready right now, or I kind of want to do this, but how much is it? Or I don't have the I just I don't like to get involved with companies like this, or is this one of those pyramid companies? How do you get past that? Well, you have to ask questions, folks. I mean, you have to be very clear about the questions that you ask here. And the order of this of the concepts 1, 2, and 3 don't necessarily have to be in that order. Okay, I just put them in that order because I usually follow in that order. I say, I always say to them, well, I feel what you're saying to me. I know because I've been there. I felt it, I lived it, I know exactly what it means not to have enough money at the end of the month. I know exactly, but I found that if I took a few minutes of my day and dedicated it to the concepts that the organization is going to teach you, that over time I had more time, or I found that I was able I found out that I was able to create an extra income at the end of the month. So it was another check that I was able to add. Wouldn't that be okay? To generate another check at the end of the month? and then ask questions for clarity, because the fact is, folks, that also, network marketing is one of those organizations that doesn't really care where you came from, right? As far as you getting involved with it and being your own entrepreneur within the company, but it does hold against you your past. Okay. If you choose to attack your warm market and your family and your friends and stuff like that, the fact of the matter is that they're immune to your BS. They really are. Okay. It doesn't matter how you approach them. They see you coming from a mile away. What does Socrates have to say to me this time? And in the past I would have been like, oh my gosh, I just got involved with, and as soon as they hear that, it's like the BS radar goes up in their minds. In fact, I could have said, hey, I just found out that if you give me $20 right now, I can give you, in fact, I just said, I just found out. It's habitual now. But I used to be like, hey, I just got involved with a company that if you give me 20, I can give you 50 back, and they'll be like, no, I'm okay, I'm good, and I'm like, what? Dude, give me $20, give me $20 cash right now. I'm going to go across the street. I'm going to come back. I'm going to give you 50 right now. Okay. Not tomorrow, right now. And they're going to look at you and be like, no, I'm not going to do that. Because they know you, you have a history of not being, successful in what you do. Right. So they're not going to buy into you anymore. It's not going to happen. So you have to approach it differently. Okay. You have to ask enough questions. Right. And the questions that you ask have to be laid out in such a way that you can go around that, kind of curveball them. Okay. Hey, Bill, listen, man, I know that this may not be for you at all. In fact, I'm positive it's not for you. Okay. But what I want you to do for me, okay, please, can you look at this video for me? All right. And, in your library of friends, there's got to be somebody that you can help, or that we can help together, lose weight, make more money, whatever it is that you want to say at that point in time. Bill, what is it that, could you do that for me? Could you please just look at that for me? All right. Nobody's going to say no to you for that. They will look at the video. They will do it because you didn't come at them pitchy. You didn't come at them, like a salesperson for once. Okay. They're going to appreciate that. All right. So Bill's going to watch the video. Okay. And our videos are great. They resonate with a lot of people, and you come back and say, hey, what is it you like best about it? And it's like, well, I didn't realize that the company was that amazing, or, oh, wow, that guy, David, is a really great guy. Whatever he tells you, right. Then you have to use the words, well, I felt the same way, I feel that after watching that video, you and I could, felt the same way, about the company. And I found that, when I got involved with it, that it was a great organization that was involved with I had a great upline. I had a great site, whatever, however you want to say it. But the point is that the communication at that point is open, right? Now you have a different train of thought with this guy than you had originally, where he saw you coming and thought that was, that was going to be another train wreck with you and him. Okay. The other thing is, if they say those things, if they say things that really upset you, like, oh, is this one of these companies that, that's a pyramid scheme, or, this is one of these where the first couple of people get rich. Don't argue. Don't get into a fight with these people, because I know you're passionate. I'm passionate about this company, and you're passionate about the products, and you want to just basically say that nothing's out there is better than us, and we're the Bentley of nutrition and so forth. But the fact of the matter is that if you argue with somebody, you've lost it. You don't want to argue. You want to find sympathy with the person, right? You want them to realize that you understand what they're saying. Of course. Excuse me. Of course you do. Of course you feel that way, and then if it's the pyramid thing, if it's the scam thing, you could always refer to the, what's your story? What happened with you? Which is a great one to approach. Hey, you got a story. I know you do. What happened? Did you know somebody that got involved with network marketing and just got burned? Or, do you have a bunch of stuff in your garage? Do you have a garage full of stuff? Tell me Tell me, what is it? What was it? Oh, it wasn't you. It was just somebody you knew. Well, what do you think that they didn't have success? It's like, because they just didn't have the time. Well, did they have anybody cared about? Did anybody train them? Well, no. Well, let me ask you a question. If you looked at this video and it resonated with you in any which way, would you be open to learning a little more information about it? You would? Okay, well, do me a favor, watch the video and we'll talk, and it's about a 30-minute video. I'll call you about an hour or two. Okay, we'll talk about it then. Give them a call back, say, hey, what is it you like the best about it? No, listen, let me ask you a question. If I can show you how you will have success in the next 6 months with this company, right, would it be something that you'd be interested in? Oh, you're not ready for it right now. You don't have the time. Well, of course you don't have the time. And that's why I'm talking to you about this. I feel the exact same way. When you're so surrounded by life and life is happening around you and the kids and your wife and the job and stuff like that, it's just a crazy feeling to think that you can start something new. But, when I felt like that and then I moved in that direction, I found out that I really did have the little bit of time that was necessary for me to find, the success that I have today. And you can do it too. This is not something that's magical. Oh, you don't believe? Yeah. Well, let me tell you. Let me put you on the phone with a couple of people that are really great friends of mine. They're on Facebook. They're real people. That and you know them as well, that have had success with the organization as well. So again, it's just about communication, opening lines of communication with somebody. That's how you create relationships. We always say build relationships, build relationships, but nobody really teaches us how to build relationships. It's just about talking to people without fighting them. You can't fight them. Okay, you have to ask the right questions and you have to tell stories. You have to really pick up stories. And if you don't have the stories, get the people on the phone with people that have stories. Get them on the phone with the Sonyas and Brandys and the Martells and the Socrateses and and it's just, and the list goes on and on and on. Everybody's got stories, for miles. If you don't have the stories yet, get those people involved. How you get them on phone calls is you don't say, hey, let me put you on a phone call in a 3-way. You don't use that kind of language. You basically just say, again, you follow the thing. Listen, I'm curious if you would listen to a buddy of mine who just had an amazing transformation. Why not? Okay. And you move forward with that. All right. Limiting beliefs, the reasons why people are telling you no. Okay. It's what it comes down to, right? They either believe that they themselves can't do it. Right? They believe that because they've been involved with it before and they weren't able to do it, that they can't do it now with you. Okay. They believe that, they're just not capable of being successful. Okay. And that's why you're asking these questions, right? You're asking these questions so that you can address that. When you start asking these questions, the person will get to the point where they will actually, you'll see the whole physique will change. They'll go, oh man, you know what? The fact of the matter is that, I'm dealing with this issue right now in my life, and it's stressful for me. And to get involved in something like this is just kind of crazy right now. And that's when you come in and you say, of course it's stressful, man. Of course it's stressful. How can it not be stressful? I feel you, bro. I feel you. I felt exactly the same way, but I found out that when I got involved, doing this kind of stuff, okay, that I found out that when I did the cleanse, when I did the transformation, I had all this this emotional baggage lift from me. When I found out that when I lost the 40 pounds, the 10 pounds, the 5 pounds, that I had this great feeling above me. I found out that when I had this transformation, the people were attracted to me, and then it was easy for me to go ahead and use this amazing gift card system that we have. I found out, you see what I'm saying? So if you take these words and incorporate it into what you're doing today, your entire game changes. The whole game changes for you. All right. And they have limited beliefs about the organization or the business itself. They just do. It's just the way. So it's what it is. Okay. Oh, there's a typo on there. That should be objections, not ejections. So So the whole purpose about objections as well is I want you to think about it. When somebody tells you, they give you an objection, think to yourself for a second. Is it a real objection? What are they really saying by this? Are they, and then that goes back to the previous slide. All right. Are they really saying that they just don't believe they can do it? Or are they really saying they don't believe that your company is a good company? Because your next, your response needs to be based upon that. Okay. Again, of course, I'm curious. Would it be okay? I just found out. Those are your best friends right there. Okay. I'm curious. Would it be okay to add another check at the end of the month? Of course it would be. I just found out how you could add that check at the end of the month. That's another powerful one. Okay. And then I'm not the type of person. That's a good one. I hear that one a lot here in South Florida. I'm not the type of person that goes, door to door. I'm not the type of person that is a salesman. I'm not the type of person that is, and I'm like, really? Because you're my friend and I'm very outgoing and, charismatic. And guess what? You are too, but you can't tell them that, right? You can't tell them that because that's combative. So you have to relate stories. And again, go back to the feel, felt, found, right? I feel exactly what you're saying, bro. I mean, I feel it in my being, because that's exactly how I was. But I found that as I spoke to people more, as I participated in the training that the company is going to give you, again, alleviate the fears, right? That the company is going to give you the training. I'm going to hold your hand throughout this thing. In fact, a good way of saying this is what, give me 10 days. And if in 10 days you don't learn the principles that it takes for you to start making some money, so losing weight, whatever it is that they're trying to get to, then I'll fax in the refund yourself, get your whole money back. I mean, does that sound extreme? Yeah, but the point is that you're alleviating any regret that they might have for getting involved with you. Okay. Use word pictures, man. They're super successful. Remember the word picture about walking into the boss's office, putting your feet on top of that thing? I've used that all the time. Let me tell you another one that resonates with me. And I use this one all the time. In fact, I used it on the airplane on the ride home. The stewardess was sitting there, and I could see by her, by her physique, that she was just not, she was not right. So I said to her, "Are you okay?" And she's like, she breathed out, and I said to her, I'm curious. And she looked at me, because, when you say I'm curious, people's ears perk up. And I said, I'm curious. I said, are you in love with your job, or are you open-minded? She said, oh, I hate this job. She did. True story. Okay, there's people on this particular webcast today that could vouch for that. And Marina was sitting right there in front of me. Marina went like this and looked at me, and I was like, I said that, but you know what she said? She said, I hate this job. I said, well, you know what? You and I need to speak, because I just found out how 6 months from now you don't have to be doing this anymore. And she was like, really? I said, yeah. I said, no, but I don't want to bother you now, because you have to do the thing with the safety or whatever. We'll talk a little later. The whole flight, right? She kept eyeballing me the whole entire flight. She even slipped me some peanuts, which I didn't eat, but she slipped me some peanuts, and being nice. At the end of the flight, I walked over to her. I gave her a business card. Okay. I took down her information on my phone. Okay. Because I have a digital business card. So I sent her my digital business card. I had her information. She just bought 2 days ago from me. Okay. So those things are powerful. Okay. They're really powerful. I don't have the time. I don't have the time is another one, right? I don't have the time right now. I don't have the time to do the transformation. I don't have the time to do the business. How do you address that? The same way. If you resonate with the person, again, make yourself part of the avatar's life, address the points that are specific to that point, and then do what? Do the word pictures, because they work. Okay. The same thing with, I don't have the money. Okay. Don't break it down to, well, it's only it's $250. If you break it down, it's $24 a day. If you go down, it's only $3.33 a meal. They don't want to hear that. They don't want to hear that. Okay. What they want to hear, right, is that you know that they can do it, right? What is their limiting belief? Okay. Is it that the company they don't trust the company, they don't trust themselves, or they don't trust you. Okay, it's got to be one of those three things. All right. So if you paint the picture properly, that's not a problem for them. All right. So how do you succeed? All right. Well, the concepts of the questions are really important. Okay. So continuously feel what the person is trying to tell you. Be that felt part for them. Okay. So feel, felt, found for them. All right. Incorporate the I'm curious, the would it be okay? I just found out, of course you don't want to be, I was talking to a young lady on the phone a few days ago. She said to me that she was talking to somebody that was, in her mind, a great candidate. And the guy said that he didn't have the money, And she said, so what do I say to that guy? And I told her, I said, just call him back and say, hey, Bill, I was thinking about what you told me, and it resonated with me. I said, of course you don't have the money. I said, I didn't have the money either. I said, but that's why I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you because if you do a couple of small, simple things here, okay, I found out how in 6 months you can have the money to do what you want. I found out how you can add an extra paycheck every month. Now, I'm not talking about $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, but for $300, $400, $500, extra a month, would that make a difference in your life? Of course it does. Of course it did. In 2009, when I had personal foreclosure, okay, I lost my car. All right, my two cars. All right, personal foreclosure. I had an issue with immigration. Okay, lost everything. $500 would have made night and day for me. In fact, it did, because the company that I was with, the multi-level company that I was with at that time, continued to pay my household $500 until I was able to get back, okay, a year later, and that was what made the difference for my family. Okay, so $500 is the mark. Forget the 1%ers, man. Forget the 1%ers. 85% of the world, okay, is looking to increase their income by $300 to $500 a month. All right, that would make a difference of a new apartment. That would make a difference if your kids go into a better school, to an extracurricular activity like piano, guitar. The difference of you paying something off, $300 a month. Come on, that's huge, humongous. Okay, but you have to know that, and that's what your target should be. All right. If you do that, they're sold. They don't want to hear about the master aminos. They don't want to hear about the cherry. They don't want to hear about that stuff. Is it important to know that? Absolutely, because that's the next step. Okay. So what you're going to do is you're going to use the concepts, all right, to actually get the person to nod yes. Okay. It's good. They're going to say yes. And you got to practice this. This is not something that you're going to listen to this conversation today. I mean, this WebEx today and go home and be able to do it. But you know what they are. You say to yourself, I'm going to use the I'm curious. I'm going to use that would it be okay? The would be okay is great. It works with your household. If you're married, hey honey, I'm curious. Would it be okay if we cuddled tonight? Yeah. Well, I just found out how kissing you here might make you feel a little different. Oh, really? Those things, they work. They work with the kids too. I use them on the kids all the time. I say, hey, I'm curious. Would it be okay if we went up to our room today and cleaned it? Before mom got home, or would it be okay if we got this extra assignment done? Because I homeschool my kids, and they don't oppose it. So if children don't oppose it, if household people, spouses and stuff don't oppose things when you ask those scenarios, then it's got to work. It's got to work. All right, and boom, your pack is sold. All right, now I got launch pack on here, and the reason why I got launch pack is because that's what you should be thinking. All right, but that's a point for a different webinar, not for today, but we'll talk about that in the future. Okay, and then you go into your presentation. Isn't that crazy? So you sold the person, you closed them, all right, and then you go into your presentation after you sold them, which is why it's great at the end of a healthy happy hour, when you do your healthy happy hours and you got a bunch of people that signed up for your healthy happy hour, do a mini business planning session there. Okay, sit down and say, you know what, These gift cards, they're amazing. Let me show you how they're going to work for you. Okay. We're going to get you on social media. We're going to get you to call your friends. We're going to do a launch for you. We're going to get you start to think like you're a business owner, because that's the failure, guys. The failure here is that we forget that we're actually business owners. So we have to treat our business as a real business. So now we've got the language down packed, right? We're speaking Russians where the Russians are. We're speaking Spanish where the Spanish people are. All right. They want to do business with us. Now we're going to tell them that this is how you're going to do business. You're going to start speaking Spanish to the Spanish people, using this kit, this tool set over here. Okay. That's what you're going to do. All right. And by the way, you're going to say, you yourself today are going to save $50 with it. Okay. And then you're going to move them into everything else. You're going to, slowly, one thing a day. From that point on for 10 days. Remember, you told them you're going to have them get results within 10 days. Your goal should be that you sign somebody up today, 10 days from now, they got their kit paid for. Okay. It's totally possible. You start today, 10 days from now, they get the kit totally paid for. They got 5 new people. They repeat the same thing. Those 5 people go out and do the same thing. 10 days later, they've got 5 people. Folks, think about it, what I just said. So you got 1 person. 10 days later, there's 6 people. All right. 10 days later from that, so that's 20 days later, there's what? 26 people. It's the magic of compounding. Okay. So within a month, you can have a pretty big organization if you just do the simple things. Okay. So there's no not working here. Okay. That works without a doubt. So that's it. I think I beat that dead horse a lot today in this particular webinar. Folks, if you haven't been to socktalks.com, do so. It's a great tool. There's no selling there. Nobody's going to capture anything from you. Nobody's going to spam you. None of that stuff. This is strictly for our edification. I do this only because I really care about sharing with all of you. And I'm learning. I'm becoming better at my trade. Right. I'm treating this as like a business. I'm really coming out of my shell with this. The people that I talked to, the Tom Schreiders, the Ray Higdons, the Robert Hollises, the Brandy Sonotos, the Arna Johnsons, the Simon Changs, the Dan Wilkinsons. I mean, it doesn't matter what organization they're with. Okay, they're sharing with us the specifics, a failure story, a success story, the aha moments. Okay, because they really want us to ignite our passions. They really want us to accelerate our journeys because they want us to get there. Okay, they don't want to keep us down. They want us to accelerate us to get there. Okay, they want us to annihilate our limiting beliefs because we have our own limiting beliefs too. Do you think your customers have one? We have them too. We have big ones. Okay, so we've got to get past those limiting beliefs. All right. So having said that, let me give you one thing here. All right, this is my contact information, guys. If you need to get a hold of me, please go to socktalks.com. You can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Periscope, all that stuff at IamDocSock. All the usual suspect social media places. Remember, if you want to speak to me specifically, outside of this norm, this is very uncomfortable for me. So I'm just trying to get comfortable being uncomfortable. If you want to schedule with me, you can do it at candidly.com/Socrates. Just, you can choose to do a 15-minute call, 30-minute call, Skype, whatever you want to do. We can chit chat one-on-one. I do much better one-on-one than I do in this type of forum, but this will get better. Okay. So having said that, thank you very much for your efforts and your times and all that stuff. And let me see something here. Does this thing? Yeah, nobody really, I don't know if anybody was chatting or anything. I didn't see anything on here. No chats happened. So anyway, again, peace, love, out. Remember, keep in mind, feel, felt, found. Of course, I'm curious. What? You got it right, guys. All right. Take care of yourself. Good night. We got to get on the call here in about 15 minutes with Meet the Owners. All right. Bye, guys.